From the moment the cage door slammed shut, the atmosphere inside the arena was electric, charged with a palpable tension that seemed to vibrate through every corner of the venue. This was more than just another fight on the card. It was a confrontation built on a foundation of pride, provocation, and a rivalry that had been simmering for months. Every spectator felt the intensity, as though the very air had thickened with anticipation. The combatants in question were Dakota Ditcha, a rising star in the United Kingdom's MMA scene whose skill and mental discipline were beginning to draw serious attention, and Levi Steman, a fighter widely known for her toughness, resilience, and willingness to speak before she acted. In the days leading up to the bout, Levi had made it her mission to unsettle Dakota, relentlessly taunting her in interviews, press conferences, and social media interactions. She had called Dakota overrated, inexperienced, and unprepared, questioning every aspect of her career and implying that Dakota's previous victories had come against lesser competition, incapable of testing a true athlete. Levi's words were precise, calculated to provoke, and designed to establish a narrative of dominance even before the fighters entered the cage. The insults were not casual. They were a deliberate psychological strategy aimed at forcing Dakota off her game, at turning focus away from preparation and toward emotion. Yet Dakota, known for her unwavering mental fortitude and remarkable calm, remained completely unfazed. She had been in similar situations before and understood that reacting emotionally to provocation could be disastrous. She had learned to transform such verbal assaults into fuel, motivation that would be channeled into precise execution inside the cage. Dakota's mindset was clear. Levi's confidence, built on words rather than tested by action, could be dismantled by strategy, skill, and disciplined performance. In fact, she welcomed the challenge, knowing that the verbal games could mask true vulnerabilities and that her preparation could exploit every misstep. Dakota's preparation for the fight had been meticulous and exhaustive. Her coaching team emphasized that victory in the cage was about far more than raw physical strength. It required strategy, adaptability, timing, and mental clarity. They had drilled a wide variety of combinations, with a particular focus on integrating hand strikes into head kicks, a signature area where Dakota excelled. Her long legs and agility allowed her to launch devastating kicks from angles her opponents often failed to anticipate. Equally important, her training included a heavy emphasis on takedown defense, ensuring that she could maintain her preferred striking range while punishing any overextension by an aggressive opponent. Clinch work had also been a major component of her regimen. Dakota spent countless hours refining knee strikes, maintaining balance under pressure, and controlling opponents against the cage. Each movement was rehearsed, perfected, and drilled to the point where instinct could guide execution even under extreme fatigue. Strength and conditioning were equally vital. Dakota's regimen ensured that she would possess the endurance to maintain dominance not just in the opening round but throughout the entirety of the fight. Her energy management was deliberate, a crucial factor in a sport where fatigue can compromise technique and decision-making. Every aspect of Dakota's preparation, striking, grappling, clinch control, conditioning, and mental fortitude, was designed to counter Levi's strengths while punishing any errors. The combination of physical prowess, tactical intelligence, and mental discipline had become Dakota's hallmark and would be evident as soon as the first bell rang. Finally, the long-awaited night arrived. On May 25, 2019, at Almighty Fighting Championship 12 in Liverpool, England, the crowd's anticipation reached a fever pitch. Fans filled every seat, buzzing with excitement, chanting, and reacting to the energy radiating from the cage. From the moment the bell rang, the tension was nearly tangible. Dakota immediately asserted control, stepping to the center of the cage with a deliberate, measured presence. This positioning was strategic. It allowed her to dictate the pace and distance, forcing Levi to react to her movements rather than imposing her own. Dakota's footwork was precise, fluid, and calculated, each pivot and angle chosen to maximize opportunities for strikes while minimizing exposure to danger. She began by probing Levi's defenses with crisp, probing jabs, each aimed at testing reactions, gauging timing, and seeking openings. Every strike had a purpose. Nothing was thrown haphazardly. Dakota's strategy from the very first second was clear: establish dominance from range, avoid unnecessary risk, and punish overextensions. It did not take long for her reach advantage to become apparent. Each jab, leg kick, and knee was executed with surgical precision, disrupting Levi's rhythm and forcing her to reconsider the aggressive approach she had promised in public interviews. Levi's first attempts to impose herself came through clinch engagements, attempting to close the distance and neutralize Dakota's striking advantage. Yet Dakota was prepared. She employed crossface techniques, frames, and underhooks to prevent Levi from gaining control in the clinch. When Levi pressed forward and tried to drive Dakota against the cage, Dakota maintained a solid base, absorbing the pressure while delivering punishing knees to the midsection and legs. The precision of her strikes visibly affected Levi's posture and mobility. By the end of the first round, Dakota had not only defended against every takedown attempt, but had also landed multiple impactful strikes that set the tone for the fight. She stepped away from the cage at the bell, composed, confident, and in complete control. Entering the second round, Levi realized that her initial strategy would not suffice. She adjusted, increasing her aggression, lowering her stance, and committing to takedowns with greater urgency. Levi's attempts to pressure Dakota involved crouching low, changing levels, and seeking to gain dominant positions from the ground. However, Dakota's anticipation and preparation allowed her to neutralize these changes. She sprawled effectively, tied up Levi's wrists when necessary, and continued to apply cross-face pressure to disrupt leverage. The contrast between Levi's raw aggression and Dakota's tactical defense was starkly evident. Every counter Dakota executed was precise: short combinations, knees from the clinch, and well-timed strikes whenever Levi overcommit. Dakota controlled the pace, forcing Levi to fight on Dakota's terms rather than the reverse. Even in moments where Levi briefly succeeded in gaining side control, Dakota remained calm, utilizing butterfly hooks, frames, and underhooks to maintain mobility, prevent damage, and search for openings to escape or reverse. Her ability to blend offense with defensive discipline highlighted her superior fight IQ, reflecting the effectiveness of her preparation and mental focus. As the fight moved into the third round, fatigue began to show, particularly for Levi. Dakota's conditioning and energy management gave her a distinct advantage. She retained speed, composure, and the ability to execute techniques at a high level, while Levi's movements showed signs of wear, hesitation, and decreasing efficiency. Dakota's attack patterns became increasingly creative and fluid, combining jab cross combinations, side kicks to the midsection, and spinning strikes designed to challenge Levi's defensive awareness. A particularly striking moment occurred when Dakota launched a spinning heel kick, landing cleanly and staggering Levi briefly, shifting the momentum decisively. Dakota immediately capitalized, stepping in for a clinch, pressing Levi against the cage, and delivering a series of well-placed knees. Her control in the clinch remained textbook, using cross-face pressure and superior positioning to limit Levi's ability to respond effectively. Every action reinforced Dakota's dominance, demonstrating that precision, discipline, and timing could dismantle even the most determined aggression. Throughout the third round, Dakota continued to punish Levi's legs with repeated low kicks, gradually weakening her base and diminishing her ability to shoot for takedowns. She maintained spatial awareness, avoiding unnecessary risks while exploiting openings created by Levi's fatigue and frustration. Dakota's combinations remained seamless, striking the head, body, and legs while staying prepared to counter any attempt by Levi to close the distance. When Levi tried to execute level changes or secure takedowns, Dakota's timing and anticipation allowed her to sprawl effectively and counter with immediate strikes or knees, maintaining control over both position and momentum. By the final moments of the fight, it was clear to spectators and judges alike that Dakota had controlled nearly every facet of the contest. Her composure, precision, and strategic awareness left Levi with minimal options, and the crowd's energy reflected the collective recognition that Dakota had dictated the fight from beginning to end. When the final bell rang, signaling the end of the three-round contest, both fighters acknowledged each other with respect. However, The outcome was unmistakable. Dakota Ditcha had dominated through skill, preparation, and mental discipline. The judges awarded her a unanimous decision, confirming the superiority she had displayed throughout the contest. This victory was more than a notch on her record. It was a clear statement of her abilities, preparation, and mental fortitude. Dakota had silenced critics not with words, but with action, demonstrating that meticulous preparation, strategic thinking, and flawless execution could overcome bravado, aggression, and pre-fight intimidation. The aftermath of the fight further cemented Dakota's reputation. In post-fight interviews, Levi admitted the challenge Dakota presented, acknowledging the effectiveness of Dakota's striking, the precision of her knees, and the disciplined defense that had prevented Levi from implementing her preferred strategies. Dakota, in turn, recognized Levi's heart and determination, praising her opponent for pushing the pace and testing her abilities under pressure. Dakota framed the bout not as a personal vindication, but as a mutual proving ground, a test of skill, endurance, and strategy that highlighted the high-level professionalism of both fighters. The respect between them, though hard-earned, underscored that in MMA, preparation and execution often carry far more weight than pre-fight statements or confidence. This fight marked a defining moment in Dakota Ditcha's career. It demonstrated her ability to execute complex strategies under pressure, maintain composure against a capable opponent, and leverage preparation and discipline into tangible results. Her striking, clinch work, and takedown defense all contributed to a performance that elevated her status among emerging MMA prospects. Promoters, fans, and analysts recognized her potential as a fighter who could control fights, implement strategic game plans, and capitalize on opportunities while maintaining discipline and focus. Dakota's performance sent a clear message. Success is rarely dictated by aggression alone. It is earned through careful orchestration of skill, timing, and strategy. The meticulous preparation that led to Dakota's success cannot be overstated. Her coaches emphasized not only physical conditioning but also mental resilience, ensuring that she could respond calmly to unexpected situations. Training focused on timing, balance, and the integration of multiple attack angles, allowing her to fluidly transition between striking, clinch, and defensive maneuvers. Sparring sessions were tailored to replicate Levi's style, including aggressive takedown attempts, clinch pressure, and unconventional striking angles. Every session was designed to prepare Dakota for the unpredictable, to sharpen reflexes, and to instill confidence in her ability to execute under duress. This holistic approach, combining technical mastery, endurance, and mental readiness, was evident in every movement she made inside the cage. By the conclusion of the bout, Dakota had achieved more than just victory. She had solidified her status as a rising star in MMA. Her performance showcased the importance of preparation, adaptability, and mental discipline, demonstrating that success in the sport relies on more than physical prowess or bravado. Instead, it is the careful orchestration of skill, timing, and strategy that separates true excellence from mediocrity. Dakota's performance against Levi Steman became a blueprint for effective fight execution, a case study in controlling the tempo, exploiting openings, and neutralizing threats through intelligence, discipline, and tactical awareness. In the days following the fight, Dakota's reputation grew exponentially. Fans, analysts, and promoters alike recognized the significance of her performance, noting her ability to maintain composure under pressure, execute complex strategies with precision, and adjust dynamically to an opponent's changing tactics. Her victory was celebrated not merely as a win, but as a demonstration of the principles that define elite MMA competition: preparation, execution, discipline, and mental fortitude. Dakota had proven that a fighter who invests in preparation and strategy can dominate even when facing a physically capable and highly motivated opponent. Ultimately, Dakota Ditcha's fight against Levi Steman would be remembered as a defining moment in her career. It highlighted her technical skills, strategic awareness, and composure under pressure, while simultaneously silencing critics and establishing her as a fighter to watch in the years ahead. Every strike, every maneuver, and every defensive adjustment reinforced the message that victory is achieved through discipline, preparation, and execution rather than words or pre-fight hype. The bout served as a testament to the effectiveness of intelligence, planning, and precision in MMA, illustrating how a well-prepared athlete can control a contest from start to finish. Dakota Ditcha's performance was a masterclass in modern mixed martial arts, and it secured her reputation as a rising star capable of shaping the future of the sport.